worked at the English Center at the University of Arizona, and of course working with international students, and lots of Saudi students.
Nice.
Lots of Gulf students from the
Khalij
Gulf
and all that, yeah.
But anyway, he was telling me that he loved chess,
Right.
and he said, when I played chess at home, he said, from Saudi Arabia, he said, my grandfather, he said, he didn't like it at all. And he was telling me, my grandfather told us he didn't stop playing chess.
Gotcha.
And I asked him why. And he said, because the student told me that the figures have faces.
Yeah, it's a little statue-looking
and
thing.
he said that his grandfather told him the jinn can get into those pieces and have, and that's what as soon as you said the word, that's what I remember.
So the jinn is another creation. Like, for example, we have dark matter, we have things we can't see, but scientists do believe exist in the universe, right?
But what about?
No, go ahead. It's okay. Go ahead.
But the question is like things like palm reading and like some of the Christian traditions they don't care about it, whatever, that's what you do. But some parts are like, that is the doorway to Satan. That is the doorway to the devil.
Right.
And I had students in my class. It's like, my grandparents warned me, don't take that class.
But that's I mean the thing is, when you look at palm reading, or if you look at speaking in tongues,
the future,
right? I mean, how do you get that information, right? So a lot of people, they work with magic, they work with jinn. So that kind of stuff is not permissible in Islam, because you are now dealing with forces that you shouldn't be, right? Jinn have their own world, they need to live peacefully in their world. We have our own world, we live in our world, right? Go ahead.
What about ghosts?
So again, we don't believe that ghosts are like dead people. Thank you so much. Jazak Allah Khair. So we do believe that some people see jinn and say they're ghosts, but in reality those are jinn. We do believe that there are other forces out there, right? We do believe you have a soul. When you die, the soul goes to the grave. But we don't believe like the soul roams around haunting people's houses and all that kind of stuff, right? But what does happen, some of the evil jinn, they will try to confuse people, and they will try to mess with people's mind. They will try to appear like relatives and so on, right? So those are jinn.
If because of Islam's belief in the existence of jinn, one of the issues we get into in class is the whole idea about the devil and Satan.
Right.
Now, in the Catholic tradition that I grew up in a long time ago, of course, Satan and the devil is real, and even in the Bible.
We believe he's real.
And so
we don't believe he was an angel, though. There's the difference. Right. Angels are obedient creatures of God. It's another creation. They're made out of light, not like the light you flash in a flashlight, but like how humans are made out of the earth. But doesn't mean that you wash away and dirt comes off. But that's a building block, right? So like that, we believe there's angels made out of light, a light that is obedient to Allah. Angels do what God tells them, right? Gabriel brings the message. The angel of death takes the souls. That's their jobs, right? Then there are jinn and humans. We both have choices, right and wrong, and we get judged on right and wrong. So shaitan or iblis or the devil is one of the jinn, and at a time he was obedient to God. He got jealous of Adam and he disobeyed and he became cursed, right?
So guardian angels, and lots of people believe in guardian angels.
We believe there's guardian angels.
It's the same.
Yeah. Again, the Christian idea of angels is just the way they've kind of made it out today, like with harpoons and little boy looking things. We don't believe in that. We don't believe they're like human looking, right? Like they are made of another creature, right?
And protect people.
There are those that protect people. There are those that are responsible for rain. There are those that are responsible for different jobs. Israfil is the one that's going to blow the trumpet to start the Day of Judgment, and the second and third blowing. Everybody has their job.
And with angels too, we get into this whole area of demonic possession. So in Islam, do you believe that people can be?
We do believe that, right? That's not going to be by angels. That's going to be by jinn, right? So, and when you recite the Quran on them, the jinns can be taken out. They can free the person.
One of the things we do in the class, and I mean, the supernatural, the paranormal, some of it is just silly. Reading horoscopes. Who cares?
See, we're against like Ace, Pisces and Libra and all that is shirk. We don't deal with that.
But some of it is deadly serious. And I show my students newspaper headlines, and it happens every now and then.
If you look at Emily Rose, if you look at documented cases of possessions and so on.
But the headlines I show my students is, the headline was a 3-year-old boy was killed in Tucson by his mother, his uncle, someone else. they believed he was possessed by demons. And then I showed him another head on something similar in California.
Yeah.
Right? Adults being arrested by some they think young kids are being possessed by demons. So it's like,
but Islamically that would be wrong, right? If somebody even had an issue with magic or jinn or mental disorder, you need to seek out proper help.
Yeah.
So some things you need medical help, some things you need to read Quran, but you don't harm the person.
Right, but it sounds like, would it be fair to say that Islam is similar in some ways to other religions in the sense that the general idea is that be careful about getting into any paranormal or supernatural things?
I think Islam is better than other religions in this issue because we don't believe that you just go and beat up somebody like you see some of the Catholic exorcisms and all that, right?
Yeah.
We believe in Islam that just like if somebody has a medical issue, you should take them to a professional, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody has an actual jinn issue, you should take them to a proper qualified scholar to evaluate and treat, right?
Yeah.
We don't if you're like, hey, I got a headache, I'm not gonna be like, hey, let me perform brain surgery on you, right? Because I'm not a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Just like that, an average person shouldn't go and be like, I'm gonna take the jinn out. No, like there are people who are scholars that know that knowledge, that know how to recite the Quran and how to peacefully take that jinn out. Let them deal with it. You know?
Yeah.
Do you believe there is a God though? What do you believe?
I mean, I grew up in the Catholic tradition.
But I think from speaking to you, do realize a lot of the Catholic tradition is kind of made up, right?
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
look at the Pope today.
I drifted away from the Catholic tradition in
good.
And then, but I mean, and I guess I'm very skeptical about religion in general. Now,
See,
when I went to Saudi Arabia, and
oh, you went to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was in Saudi Arabia. I was in
Riyadh.
What's the city? Tabuk.
Tabuk.
In the north.
Wow.
I was at the university in Tabuk.
Nice.
I was just there for like 5 or 6 days.
How did you find the people?
Great, wonderful.
Nice.
Now,
that's good.
I had a not a problem, but I used to go to Saudi Arabia. I used to go to Colombia in South America, and universities I visited, everything is run. I mean, at least the people I was dealing with, everything was run by women, and a lot of the women were in charge. I went to Saudi Arabia, and the university in Saudi Arabia, and of course, it's a complete segregation.
Yes, of course. There's a great respect for.
But it's. I mean, one of the things I wanted was. I wanted to get a copy of the Quran in English.
Excellent.
But I wanted to get it in Saudi Arabia when I was there.
Gotcha.
And my hosts were, of course. And then next day, the hotel room became
so nice.
A wonderful vibe, and I brought it back.
Nice.
But I expressed, and they, I guess I was a little bit interested in having that. And they thought I wasn't so interested in Islam per se. But I remember one of the guys there, he told me, he said, Eddie, if you take one step, the expression was something like this: if you take one step towards God, God will take 10 steps towards you.
That amazing?
That's
beautiful, yeah.
Some kind
you
of
come walking,
like that.
right? Now you're here.
So, but no, I'm glad I stopped by. But
Excellent.
Because one of the things I'm thinking about doing at the university, what I'm interested in is inviting some scholars to my class. Somebody from the mosque. Somebody
you got
from
the card?
A Christian one, and just saying what people think about paranormal.
So that's our card. You've got our number.
Yeah.
We can definitely arrange it.
Okay, great.
But again, so you do believe? Yeah, go for it. You can have anything you want. It's all free of charge.
He's been interested in.
Nice. That's your son, or?
Yeah, it's my son.
Nice to meet you, bro. So what do you believe, though? Do you believe there's a God?
No, I guess I'm
agnostic.
Skeptical. Yeah.
But
I guess I
understand that.
I have a very, how to put it? I'm very strongly influenced by science.
Gotcha. Oh, me too.
Science is
if you
very skeptical about a lot of.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, the thing is, right? Like if you look at this book that your son has and you have as well, you'll see about how the science proves that the Quran had knowledge the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, could not have had. Muslims, we have no problem with science, right? But what is science? Science is observation. You have hypotheses, you put it through a testability, repeatability. Like I work in the med device industry. I got nothing against science, right? Yeah. But science can't tell you what's the purpose of life. No. Science can't tell you who created you, right? We can say this is liquid and we can put that to a test. I got no problem with that. Does it flow? Can you freeze it, make it a solid? Can you unfreeze it? That's no issue with that.
Yeah.
But how could a man named Muhammad in a desert know about scientific facts that the people of that time could not have known?
Yeah.
Right? So now science would have to say there'd have to be some way for him to get that knowledge. The Quran talks about the sun and the moon and their orbits. I know the Arabs had no idea the sun's in an orbit, right? They had no idea. Even they weren't Greeks and they weren't Romans, they weren't philosophers. Even the Greeks and Romans were fighting about these issues, right? Till recently, even scientists felt the sun didn't have an orbit. Until very recently, they said, no, it does. It's a very slow orbit, but it does. Yeah. So how could the Prophet Muhammad have known that?
So it is a good point. And some of the stuff you're talking about, I'm not familiar with this. So I'm looking.
You're going to read. Excellent.
Here's one final thing, and coming back to my class. The existence of the devil or Satan, and lots of people believe that a lot of the nastiness and evil that happens in the world is because of the devil.
As Muslims, we believe there are different sources for evil, right? Meaning, one is what we call the nafs, the desires a person has themselves.
Yeah.
You could have evil inclinations yourself, right?
Yeah.
Then there is the whispering of the devil, and it's not just one devil. There are shayateen, many. That is one aspect. But you have the ability to conquer your own nafs, to conquer your own evil desires. You have the ability to say, A'udhu billahi shaitan ar-rajim, A'udhu billah, and I seek refuge from shaitan, the accursed, right? Yeah. You have the ability to fight that off, right? But now it's your choice. Like even amongst friends, you have good and like, you're a young guy, right? You're going to have some young guys, friends going to tell you, let's go do some drugs, let's go rob somebody. And you're going to have other guys that are going to be like, hey man, stay away from that, turn towards Allah, be a good person, right? Yeah. So now it's your choice who you listen to. Right? There are angels trying to guide you towards good. There are devils or jinns trying to guide you towards evil. You've got your own right and wrong inside you. Sometimes you might see something nice and you'll be like, I just want to take it. And other times you're going to be like, nah, I shouldn't because that's not mine. Right? Who do you listen to? Which voice do you listen to is where your judgment comes in. Make sense?
Yeah. Good. Thank you. We're going to read the stuff and
excellent.
We're going to
we appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll look forward to having you.